All right, let's come back to the drink piece.
Yeah.
You got your warm water. Anything added to that? And then on a typical day, any other drinks you'll have?
Well, I don't drink as much as I used to drink. I don't carry around and fill bottles up all the time. I typically went from hot coffee to hot water because I like the tradition and the culture and the social nature of coffee and tea drinking. I will occasionally have a very dilute green decaffeinated tea. But again, that's not common. Maybe a couple times a month. My day-to-day is hot water or a little bit. I love Topo Chico, Gerolsteiner, mineral waters. I love sparkling water. I love, but I don't drink a lot of water. I will sometimes use a little bit of my mineral electrolyte mix or other electrolyte mixes like LMNT. Kiltz Health, we have a mineral electrolyte supplement also. I do that sometimes, but mostly it's just plain mineral water, and I don't chug it down. It's like when I'm thirsty, and that's about it. And I'll do 2 to 3 days of dry fasting a couple times a year.
Why? What's the additional benefit there?
Because other people are doing it, it's hard. And I like to say, oh, I did it. But I would tell you that that's like I've done it a couple of times, but it's not my spiritual need. I'm good with not eating food.
You touched on something quickly there I want you to go deeper into. This idea that you're not trying to overly consume a lot of water and to constantly hydrate. So extrapolate that into the general population these days, where people are carrying around these bottles of water, sipping on it throughout the day, and why that might not be a great idea.
Well, as I'm out in nature and seeing all the animals that are all around us that are probably not drinking as much water as we are, amount of ounces, fluid ounces compared to our weight. And we make water in our body, by the way. When you make a protein, each amino acid that's added to a chain of a protein throws off some water. And then as you burn fat, which is the only thing we burn, by the way, acetyl-CoA is converted to H2O, CO2, and ATP, so the energy. And so I noticed that as you drink more water, it just pees out. And so, well, why do you need to flush your system? Your system knows what it's doing already. And I believe that we're damaging our body by drinking too much water, and you're diluting out the natural hormones, enzymes, and other structures of the body. You can die of overconsumption of water. Now, it's kind of hard to do, but it is possible to do that. So I just have found that, it costs a lot of money for most of us buying a bunch of water, but if you're filling it up in the tap and you're putting electrolyte mix or, again, you got to find what feels right. But I just think our requirement for water is a lot less, especially my friend Lisa Wiedemann did, I think, 5 or 7 days no water. Who am I thinking of? A couple other people, brain will come to it, that other people that had gone a long time without drinking or eating, and they're doing fine. Because again, as long as you're not out in the sunlight and evaporating all your water, which is dangerous, it's high sweating, losing a lot of the water electrolytes could be damaging. But most of our environments are air conditioned and humidity conditioned, things like that. You're going to do fine, and you don't need so much water.
So essentially, what I think you're saying is we can rely on our thirst.
In general, your thirst should tell you where to go. But the challenge is our thirst is always also driven, like our hunger, by our environment and our mindset. So if we've already created a propaganda, you need lots of water, you need lots of water. So wow, I haven't had water all day, and you're going to guzzle it. The mind is always the master of everything in your life first. Physiologically, people say, oh, I listen to my body. Oh, I need sugar, or I need to eat 3 times a day. Your body lies because it is afraid that you're not going to have access to water or food for the next week. You better pump it down, because think about it. When was water so easily accessible for your drinking? 50,000 years ago. You know, either there are alligators in the water, or there are other animals or other humans, or it just wasn't drinkable.
If you enjoyed that clip, you're going to want to head over here and catch the full episode. I'll see you over there.
If you want to domesticate a lion or a wolf, feed them plants. You want to domesticate a human being? Feed them plants. And it's really as simple as that. Any cut of meat is good, but the fattiest cut is best. And throw in some more